So, dear participants, welcome to the third day of the STC. I hope you are enjoying the sessions and these sessions are coming useful to you. So, today also we have with us Mr. Devinder, who will be taking the Applied Electronics Lab today. So, I invite Devinder ji to take over the session and start today's proceeding.
Thank you, sir, and good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing fine. So, before we start with today's session, are there any queries from the last session or some
Yes, sir.
doubt that you have? Yeah, please tell me, Sanjay sir.
Sir, after drawing the schematic on Multisim Live,
Okay,
how to write the description below the circuit?
description as in
Uh, the circuit's working. If I want
okay,
to attempt an assignment, if I want to explain to the students, okay, this is
okay,
the circuit. This is working like this. Transistor is like this. Diode will be open, and when it will be reverse bias, like that.
okay.
Description. Can we type on that?
Sir,
Because
can
I
you see
have
the
seen.
screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me just show you that part. You see this part under probes analysis and annotation. You just place this wherever you want, like here. I can just write this is resistance, okay, and it will keep. Oh, sorry.
Okay, on the circuit we can write, but a paragraph. Can we write a paragraph using this same
You want to write a
below?
paragraph, na?
Yeah,
You
below
write
the
here,
circuit,
so you write here.
same tool.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
you can write anything here.
okay.
Up to you. Anything you can write here. So if you want to show some, tell them how it is working, you can just write a simple explanation for the circuits working, and then maybe let's say if you want to write here, you can write it here, and this could be explanation of the circuit. Then here you can write for resistance or either for a capacitor, or you can maybe give this a heading here. So that is up to you. That can be done. I hope that answers your question, sir.
Yes, sir. It's okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any further questions? Are there any further questions?
Sir, once again, please show the where the annotation is available.
Yes, sir. Under this, you see where we were finding our probes. In the last, you will find
Analysis.
this
Right.
text annotation.
Okay.
You just have to
Right.
place
Thank
it
you, sir.
here, and then single click
Thank you,
over
sir.
it. This will open up, write anything, and then press enter or click anywhere else. So this is your annotation. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone else having any queries?
Sir, when I have one query.
Yeah, tell me, ma'am.
Yesterday we have designed an FIR filter using
Sorry?
transformer I did, sir. So in
No, I
the
didn't get your
source,
question.
AC source I have connected one transformer. It's a center tap. There
Okay.
I have to give some center full
I'm
wave
not getting your
rectifier.
question. Your voice is breaking, ma'am.
Full wave rectifier.
Okay.
Now can you hear, sir?
Yeah, I can hear. Please tell me now.
Sir, I have designed.
Mhm.
I have designed an FIR filter using two diodes with a center
Okay.
tap transformer
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So in that, whether I need to give a separate ground for AC source as well as the next circuit after the secondary, we are connecting some devices. In that also, I should give a ground, no, sir. Whether I have to
Yes,
give
ma'am.
separate ground
Ma'am, you can
to
use a
work
single ground
properly.
only because as per this
Whether
particular
it is
tool,
necessary for me to give separate ground for both the.
That
Single
that
ground.
is purely up to you, ma'am. You can give a separate ground also, or you can maybe give a common ground also, because in the back end,
But while I'm
ground
tapping
is
now,
ground.
sir, tapping the output.
Sorry, what did you say, ma'am? Hello.
But in the load side, I have to give some reference. In the load side, load.
Yeah, so you
Sir,
can give
in the
reference, so
load
like you
side,
see here,
say you are tapping some
like you
output,
see
no?
here, I have given
PR2.
yeah, so like
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
yes, I can hear you. So here, like you
Hello,
can see that I have given this reference. Okay, I've connected
sir,
this
can you hear
reference
me?
here, and then this particular probe is reading this reference. Okay,
Hello,
so that hello.
Hello, Usha ma'am.
sir,
Hello, Usha ma'am.
sir.
Are you able to hear us, Usha ma'am? Hello.
I guess she is having some issue.
Yes, sir. I guess I'll just drop a message for her in the chat box, sir. And if
No,
she
no
has any
problem.
query, she'll ask
Ah,
you
yeah,
later.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Usha ma'am.
yes, yes, I
Are you
can
able
hear,
to
ma'am.
hear us? Ma'am, there
Yes,
is
yes,
a
ma'am.
bit
Yes.
of a lag in your audio. So, sir is answering your question. I request you to mute your mic. And if you have a question again, kindly unmute again.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am. Yes, madam. Yes, I can hear.
Okay, so ma'am, if you see this circuit also, even I'm using this ground. Okay, I can put a ground here also. It won't make us a difference, because in the back end, grounds are common. Okay, so I can put hundreds of ground, but somehow they'll all be connected in the back end. That is what actually ground means, that it is it's all connected. Okay, so that is why even in a lab, when we make a circuit, we connect ground of let's say if you're using two different machine, if I'm using an oscilloscope, or if I'm using a power supply or any other device, we generally connect all the grounds. Okay, so that way grounds are common. But what you're saying is, if you want to use a reference, like here in this case, if I put a probe here, it will measure between this point and ground, which is this point. So I don't want it to measure between this and ground, so I can put a reference here, and then under the setting of this probe, I can tell it that voltage reference is not ground, it is reference one probe. So that way it will read across this. Okay, so that's how that is how you can make it read between two specific point, and not between one specific point and a ground. I hope that answers your question, ma'am. If there's any further thing, do let me know.
Sir, she has replied in the chat box that she has understood. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sir, regarding the digital
Okay.
filters, sir, digital circuits,
Okay.
have you been,
Tell me, ma'am.
sir, we have asked some query yesterday, like we want to see all the four input combination in a single grapher window.
That I could not check, ma'am, but I
Maybe.
doubt, because I don't see any phase thing here. One second, let me just
Okay, sir.
cross
In the
check
next
here
class,
itself.
if it's possible, you just show us.
Okay, I'll check, but that would be really doubtful, ma'am. But what I've shown you yesterday might work for that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Like, you can give two square waves with the different frequencies, and you'll be able to see all the various combinations on the chart.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
That
you,
way,
sir.
maybe you can work out.
Thank you, sir.
And okay, thank you, ma'am. Any further questions? Are there any further questions, or should we move forward? Okay.
Sir, I think we can begin with today's session.
Yeah, we can begin with today's session. Okay, so today what we'll do, the day one, Dr. Daliwal taught you how to do digital electronics using this particular tool. Then yesterday we looked at basic electronics like Ohm's law, Kirchhoff law, and then basic rectifier circuits. Okay, then today we will look at a bit of advanced electronics lab. Like we'll move towards your filter circuits, like your low pass, high pass, or band pass filters. You can look, and then we can move towards transistor circuits, because in transistor anyway we are going to use these low pass, high pass circuits. So we'll look at various transistor circuits like common emitter, common base, common collector. Then if time permits, we might look at class A, B, C also. Okay. So that is our agenda for today. So today we are looking at advanced electronics lab. Okay. Okay. So yes. So NP, PNP transistor, we are all aware, and we are all aware about different configuration also, like what all different configurations are there. Then obviously I'll not go into the different configurations working. We'll just try to implement those. Okay. Okay, so this is what an NPN transistor is, and the symbol and how it is working. There's a picture to show you that also. Okay, so you can look through it, and if there's any doubt on the working, you can let me know, so that we can go through this also when required. Then we have NPN transistor, which is also something similar, but yes, obviously there are two P and there's N in between. And in the previous one, there was one P and two N. Okay, then transistor applications are this as switches or as amplifiers. So there are two applications, and in most of the electronics device, you will find one of these present. Okay, so before we go to this, let us just go and try to do a common pass. Okay, so what I will do, you know that for a low pass circuit, we need a resistance, we need a capacitance, we need an AC source.
Sir, audio is not clear, sir.
Sorry.
Audio is not clear.
Okay, is it fine now, sir?
Now it's okay.
Okay. So for any low pass circuit, we need these three components: resistance, capacitance, and an AC supply. Okay. You can 1 second, and we will also need a ground. Okay, then obviously some probes. So let me just quickly connect this. Then obviously we are trying to make a first order circuit, low pass circuit here. So that is why there is one set of RC here. Okay. Otherwise we can put two RC circuit here to make it a second order, and then for third order three set of this. Okay, so let me just quickly make it. Okay, so we have a common circuit. Okay, can anyone tell me what would be the cutoff value for cutoff frequency for this circuit? We have the component, circuit is already made. What will be the cutoff of this particular circuit? Can anyone tell me? What is the formula that we use for this?
By 2 pi RC, sir.
1 by 2 pi RC. So if we put these values, so RC would be like 1000 upon 10 to the power 6. So which will make it 10 to the power minus 3. Okay. So 1 upon 2 pi 10 to the power minus 3. So it is basically like 1000 upon 2 pi. So which would be like 2 pi would be 6.28. And 1000 divided by 6.28 will come somewhere around
159 hertz.
Okay, so 158, 159 hertz is our cutoff frequency. So what I will do, if I run this particular circuit and if I open the graph, so you can see the waveform. The blue one is the output. So you're saying that let me just start with almost 0. Okay, so if I try to increase it, sorry, here it is. So at 50, you can see that they are almost same here. Let me just give you a trigger. Okay, they're almost same at 50. If I decrease it, they're still almost same. And when I start increasing, now you can see that it has started decreasing a little. Okay, so you can see the blue waveform is decreasing now. And if I keep on going that, you can see that we have crossed 159. So we have come beyond 0.7 of the original signal. So you can see that, we can see this. But generally what we do in the lab, this is not how we basically plot your low pass filter. How do we do this experiment in lab? Can anyone tell me how we do this experiment in lab?
We have to keep the input's amplitude constant and find out the output voltage, and then keep on increasing in steps the input frequency,
Yes.
and then we can find out the output for different input frequencies. And then
Exactly.
we can
So
find out the attenuation or
exactly.
yeah.
So that is
Like-
how we plot it then, against frequency, the amplitude of the output against frequency. That is what we plot. Okay, so obviously here you can see that we can go with the traditional value, we can increase the frequency, and then we can try to note down the value in an Excel, and then we plot it. Okay, that is one way to go about it. Another way is the different simulation method. Like you see here here it is interactive. So if I go under AC sweep, so what will happen if I run it now? It will not show me this graph. It will show me this graph. So let me just make it a bit bigger. And we don't need phase. So here it is. You see the green one was our input signal, so which remains at 1 volt. Okay. So for all the frequency, input will remain constant, as we know that. And the blue one is our output signal. Okay, you can see that till some point it is constant, and after some point it starts dropping, and then it almost come down to 0 around 10 gigahertz. Okay, so if we move this roughly, this is the point where it starts dropping, which we can calculate. So you can see that it is roughly around 158.4, which is 159 is what we were looking at. So this is how this is working. Okay, so is it okay? You can see that the amplitude here is 708.59 millivolt, which is roughly, we can say, 0.7 volt. Okay, so our original input was 1 volt, and this is 0.7 volt, which is 70% of the original signal. So here we can see, okay, this is the cutoff value. Okay, so is it understandable, or any queries are there?
Sir, please just repeat, sir.
1 second, ma'am.
Sir, can you drop 3 dB line? Can you do it here?
1 second,
Finding
ma'am.
half power. Sir?
Yes, ma'am. So what you're saying that, okay, I'll tell you, like our input signal, if you see here, 1 second, let me just give it 1 volt. Okay, and again run it. Okay, so you see this is 1 volt. Let me delete the phase part. Okay, so this is the magnitude of our input and output. So this green line is 1 volt, which is our input, and it remains constant throughout the frequency change, because obviously it is not going through any circuit, so it is directly coming out of our source. Okay, so this is going constant, which is supposed to happen. Okay, now our output is this blue one. How do we calculate our cutoff frequency? Cutoff frequency basically is a frequency at which our output of the magnitude of the output waveform becomes 70% of the original waveform. Okay, that is how it is described. Okay, so if I see this graph here, So you see this point. You can say that the frequency is 158.49 hertz and the amplitude is 708.59 millivolts. So roughly we can say 0.7 volts. So 0.7 volt is 70% of 1 volt. So you can say that, okay, this is our cutoff frequency. So which is what we calculated by the formula, like 1 upon 2 pi r, 2 pi rc. Okay, so which were coming out somewhere around 159 only. So we are here only, and the signal is 70% of the original. So you can see that, okay, this is our low pass filter, and before 158.49 hertz the signal will pass through, and afterwards it will start attenuating, and depending upon the frequency we are giving, it might become almost zero also. Okay, like in the last you can see that 15.9 nano volt, which is very less. Okay, so that is one thing. And if you want to, let's say, change some parameters for the AC sweep, like right now we did analysis from 1 hertz to 10 giga. So if I, let's say, want to do to just 1 giga, so I can change it here. Okay, and a logarithmic scale also I can change, a linear scale if you want, or a decibel scale if you want, or an octave if you want, but generally we use logarithmic scale in this sort of thing, and then you can give the minimum and maximum value also here. Okay, so this is how you can maybe make some changes here. Okay, so I hope this is clear now.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so any further doubts on this?
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday you explained full wave rectifier. So
Okay.
yesterday I designed a full wave rectifier, sir, and after that I simulated, and
Okay.
I didn't get proper filtered output. So then
Okay.
I tried to change the reference voltage or some probes. But
Okay.
after once simulation is over, but is it not possible to change the reference voltage, sir? Reference voltage or any, but it was not possible to change any parameters yesterday. Once simulated, the circuit remains the same.
No, not like that now. If
Yesterday,
I'm running this circuit, let's say go to transit. So you see right now we are running this circuit. Okay.
yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
now if you're saying that you want to, let's say, change the resistance from 1K to, let's say, 6.55K, you can do it. Okay. See, we can easily do it. So the values you
Yesterday-
can change, but if you want to change the circuit itself, then during you're running this simulation, it won't happen. Like if I want to, let's say, add another capacitor here, then it won't happen. For that I have to stop the circuit and then again go and get another
Sir,
capacitor and put it back.
do one thing, sir. That probe to delete the probe to and insert it again. Okay.
Once again, ma'am. Which one, ma'am?
Probe 2. Second
two.
probe.
Let me
Second probe.
okay, done.
Uh-huh.
Tell me,
Again,
ma'am.
insert is also possible.
You want me to insert again? So again we can do it. It is possible to change the circuit now. It's not like once you have made it, it will remain like that. You can anytime change it. And if you want to see this, let me just show you. Let me open my profile. I already have some circuits in my profile. So what I will do, I will just open one of them. Let's say this Ohm's law, which I made roughly 7 months ago. Okay, so let me open this one. Okay, so now if I want to delete this resistance, I can delete it, and I can connect like this, and it will still keep on working. It's not like that it is not going to work. It is going to work. Okay, so you can always change any circuit you want.
Okay, sir. Okay, I will try again.
So you can try it later on. Any further questions?
Sir, in the AC sweep, can you measure the
Yes.
bandwidth?
Bandwidth. So, yes, you can.
Usually
One
we'll
second.
do when we take a low pass filter.
Okay, so this is our
Then
low
after
pass
marking the
waveform.
speed drop.
1 second now. So what you're saying is you want to measure our here. Okay, so starting is our 0, and we know our cutoff is where 159. You just have to place it. Okay, so here you can see that 153 is your delta x, which is your bandwidth for this circuit. So you can put cursors also, like if you want to put under this cursor here. So 1 second. So once you have this, you can click on this particular setting tab. So this will open up, and you can just scroll down and you will see cursors. So type of cursor is like none if you are using none. Okay. Then if you want to put some cursor, then if you want it on x-axis or y-axis. So right now we want to calculate bandwidth, and frequency is on x-axis. So we'll put x. If I, let's say, want to measure y, then I can put this one. Okay, so let me just show you. So on y also we can put. So this is one, and this is our second. Okay, so we can put our y-axis here, second point here, to measure the maybe the difference in the amplitude between this point and this point. Okay, so that also we can do. I hope that is clear, ma'am.
Yes, sir. But by placing a cursor, it will give a subjective value, no? Instead of that, if it is displayed on the screen, maybe underneath the axis kila,
Yeah,
if I
you
can
see
see
now
the
here. You see
bandwidth
here,
below
ma'am.
that.
Like once I have placed my cursor, so it will measure this delta x. See here.
That I understand.
So this is x. 1 second, let me just remove this. So this is your cursor. Cursor 1 is placed at this 1 hertz, 1 volt. Cursor 2 is placed at 154.56 hertz and 1 volt. Okay, then obviously it has calculated your delta x. Okay, so that way it will give you the difference also. Similarly, with the y-axis also it will do the same thing. If I put it like that, then you see the cursor 1 is placed at 1 volt, cursor 2 is placed at 132.6 millivolt, and then this is your delta y. So that way you can measure it. Is it clear, ma'am?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so this was about our low pass circuit. Now, if I want to make it,
Sir?
yeah, tell me, sir.
I have a doubt. How to give the reference voltage? When we want to measure the voltage, sometimes we want to add reference. Now it is ground, no problem. But if I want to add certain reference, what was the procedure?
I'll tell you. I was just going towards that only, sir. So
Okay,
anyway, we
thank you.
covered it yesterday also, but right now also we'll use it. So okay, so I'll go through it and I'll explain it in the next circuit we are making. So now this is our low pass circuit. So if I want to make a high pass circuit, what would be the procedure?
Just interchanging of R and C.
R and C
R and
to the
C.
interchange.
Okay, so R and C. So right now I'm measuring my output across C. Okay, so in that case, I would measure my resistance across. Sorry, my
resistor.
my output across resistance. Okay, so that is what it will do. Okay, so we basically want to measure across this. So right now there's a probe here. Okay, but I am measuring across this point and ground, but not this. So what I will do, I have to put a reference point here, and then I will measure across this R. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll go under probes here. I can see this voltage reference. So whichever point I want to make a reference, I will put it at that point. Then this probe is what I want to make. I want to use the reference with. So I will double click on this probe. So on the right hand side, you see voltage reference is here. So right now it is with ground. So I can put it reference 1, which is this one. You can see this is named reference 1. Okay. So now this green one will measure across the resistance. So this would be my high pass, and this blue one will give me the low pass circuit, low pass waveform. So if I run it, let me just remove the phase. So you can see here, cursor also we don't need. Okay, so you can see here, this blue one is again our low pass only, and the green one is our high pass, and they are both crossing over at 158.49, which is what our cutoff is, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in the same circuit, we were able to see low pass and both high pass, and this confirms that our cutoff is right here. Are there any questions, sir? I hope I was able to answer your question for the reference
What-
voltage also.
Yes,
What you have
please
done
show the
again, yes.
schematic.
Mm.
Schematic once again. Okay, PR1 and reference. We have to double click on the voltage probe.
So first of all, what you have to do, you have to go under probe and select a reference voltage reference. So you, whichever point you want to use as a reference, you put that reference probe there. Okay, now you see the name of this probe is reference 2. This one is reference 1. So let's say if I want this particular probe to use the voltage reference, I can just go, like if I wanted to use ground as a reference, or reference 1 point, or reference 2 point, I can just select it. So anyway, reference 1 and 2 are same only right now because there is nothing in between. So I'll delete this one. So I have given reference 1 here, which means it will measure between this point and this point. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So any further question on this high pass and low pass circuit?
Reference voltage, we have to make it as a ground, sir.
No. In right now, what we are doing in high pass circuit, ma'am, what happens that we measure across resistance, and in low pass circuit we measure across
Capacitance.
capacitor. So this one end of the capacitor we have connected to the probe, and the other end of the capacitor is already ground, and by default it will measure across ground. This probe, this will use reference as ground. So this probe is measuring across this only.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
This is the low pass, the blue line. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But in case of high pass, we want to measure across this resistance. So we have connected a reference voltage, and then we have made this probe to use this reference point as the reference. Okay, so that we can measure across this.
Now, what is the reference 1? Reference 1, we have to make it as a ground. No?
No. Reference 1 is, you can go it that way. So what you're saying that I replace this resistance with the capacitor, and then here I put a resistance. So that way it would be like RC or CR circuit. So that also works like that, and now this also works like that only. So we can do it that way also if you want.
Here, what is the value of reference voltage?
Reference
Is it
voltage is just a reference term. It doesn't have any value. Reference voltage is just for our reference. Like initially, if I put a probe here at this point, so this will measure between this particular point and the ground by default. So right now, if I measure between this point and the ground, I will get the voltage of my input source, which will
yes.
never change.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
But I don't want to do that right now. I want to measure across this resistance. So one point is this and one point is this. So I want to put my multimeter across this resistance so that I can measure the voltage drop across it. Okay. What I have done, I have given a reference point here, and I have told this particular probe that, okay, you have to measure between the point you are connected at and the reference 1 point, not the ground. I can measure ground also.
Okay,
and I can
okay.
make it
Now,
reference 1.
now I got it.
If I put, let's say, 10 reference point also, it will show me all the reference point in the list. So
Yes,
let me
yes.
show you that also. So if I copy this and I point it here, so you see this is reference 2. Then if I use and I put it here, this is reference 3. If I put it here, okay, so this is reference 4. So if I now go and I show the list, you see all the references it is showing me. So it is telling me, okay, which reference point you want to use, not ground. Hope I'm clear.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so
But
this was our
sir, in
first
the
order.
reference, sir,
Sorry, ma'am?
reference 3 and 4 is ground only, no? Even though we
Yeah,
are
that is
connecting
ground.
some.
I was just showing that for our own
Suma, sir.
understanding.
Sir,
If
sir,
it is
when
connected,
we are
that will give you only ground voltage only, no? Zero voltage.
By default, it is ground. Like in this, I have
Ah.
mentioned that it has to measure. It has to take reference point as ref1, and this I have not mentioned anything. So if I double click, you see this is showing ground. So this also has that same reference point, but no, we are using ground here. Okay.
Say for instance, reference 3 and reference 4 you have shown. If
Okay.
it is connected, that value will be zero only, no? So I'm asking.
That would be your ground only, because
Okay, sir.
here after this point it is all ground till this point.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, so I was just showing that to show you, okay, how a reference point works.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Sir?
sir, you were saying something.
there is some doubt. For example, yesterday when I was trying to implement this filter circuit,
Okay.
I chose one inductor.
Okay.
But to change the value of inductor, how to assign certain microhenries to that inductor, that why I am not able to do that.
Okay, let me just show you, sir.
Capacitors values are changeable, but inductor is not assigned any value.
Okay, so I got
don't
it.
know how to.
So जैसे मैंने सर अभी यहाँ circuit में inductor add कर दिया है, okay, and now I will just run this circuit. So if I, let's say, I want to change this value, so what I have to do, you see the value right now is 1 microhenry. So if I click over this value, this scale will show up. So I can just slide the scale, and you see it is changing the value. Okay, or what I can do, I can just double click here and write any value. Let's say 0.001, which is like 1 millihenry.
Okay, sir. How did you select this 1 microhenry, sir?
Sir,
from the window?
You see this value written here, and even for the capacitor the value is written, and the resistance the value is written. So you just have to click on this value.
When I was trying, it was not giving any value. It was just showing L inductor, L1 only. It was not showing any value on the inductor. Am I audible, sir?
Sanjay sir, you are audible.
Yes, Sanjay sir, you are audible. Kusuma ma'am, you are also audible. Hello, Devinder sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I think he's trying to reconnect.
Yeah, I had some network issues at my end. So
Okay.
is my voice audible now?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible, sir. The question was how this, when I was trying to pick up certain inductor, it was only showing L1, not any value assigned to it.
Not any value.
So I was not able to change that value.
That should not happen, sir. Maybe some error was there, and maybe we can discuss. But generally, what happens then when I pick up any component, like it can be resistance, potentiometer, or capacitor, or anything. So whenever
by default it gives some value, no sir? By default
it
gives
will give value. Like this one is giving me 1 microfarad, and if I
Okay.
take a resistance, it will give me 1 kilo ohms. If I take one inductor,
Okay.
it will give me 1 microhenry.
Now I got it, sir. I actually from the lens, from the search window, I selected that inductor. So I was not getting. Now
That
I
should
got
also not work, na?
No. Now choose, sir. Now we will not get any value.
You see, sir, we are getting 1 microhenry. So I can change it.
But I'm not getting still inductor.
I don't know, sir. It should not happen.
Okay.
You search from here
Okay,
or
I
here,
will
it
try
doesn't
it.
matter.
Okay, sir.
Maybe some setting changes have happened, and maybe we can look at that
Okay,
later
no
on.
problem. Okay, sir.
Okay. So timing, is that clear, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this was our first order circuit, first order low pass and high pass circuit. So we can now maybe try to use a second order also. What would happen in second order? Can anyone tell me?
What, sir?
One more combination of R and C, sir.
Okay, so if I want to make it second order low pass filter, what I will do, I will just copy this, I will put it here, and then I will copy this also, and I will put it here. So let me just connect it and connect it here, and this one will come here, and this one will come here. Oh, sorry. Okay, now the measurement will be across this for the low pass. Now tell me what would be the difference? Like we can use first order and second order both. They will be having same cutoff, or the cutoff will change also. Will the cutoff change here?
Cutoff frequency will reduce, I think.
Okay. Then why do we use this? What is the formula for that cutoff frequency in this case?
1/2 pi square root of R1 R2 into C1 C2, sir.
Exactly. So, and this is used for one more thing, to steep, to make that curve steep. Like you see, we were seeing that after 0.7 volt, the signal was going down, but it was going a bit slowly. It was attenuating, but it was attenuating slowly. In this case, it will attenuate quickly.
That is roll off rate, sir.
Sorry?
That is called as roll off rate.
Exactly, ma'am.
The
So that will happen quickly. Okay, I don't have the data to compare it with the last one.
Slope is more slope, deeper.
One second, ma'am. That is what I'm trying to check. You can see the frequency has reduced. At 0.76, we have 50 hertz now, as you said. Okay, so the frequency changed, and this should also change. Maybe we do have to maybe just compare it with the phase one. So that exercise I give you as your home as your assignment. You can maybe try to compare both phase one and phase two in terms of this roll-off factor. Okay.
Can we use two probes, one in the first order and
we can use multiple
second
probes.
order, so that
Yes,
we can visualize both?
multiple probe. I can put a probe here. Okay, and again I will give it a reference. Okay, so anyway, this reference, okay, we don't need this. So if I run it now, you see this is the one that we were getting earlier. Let me just remove the phase part, and even the output we don't need. Okay, so this is our phase. So this is our first order. Then this is our second order. So you can see that second order is going down a bit faster than the first order. Okay. Any questions on this?
Can we write the text on the graph, like this is first order, second order, like we are writing, no? Annotation on the.
circuit. Can you do it in the graph also?
On the graph, ma'am.
Hmm.
Graph, I guess we can. 1 second. So what we can do, we can change the name of the probes. So instead of PR3, I will write first order. And then instead of PR2, I can write second. I can just click on the name. So what I can do, I can just click on the name, and let's say this is one probe. If I click here, so this is named as PR1. I can just change it to anything like input signal. And I can just click enter and it will change the name. So if I go to the graph now, 1 second, let me just run the sweep again. So now you can see, we can see that 1 second, that is showing me input signals first order and second order. You can see here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So this way we can change it also. Okay, so you can see the second order is a bit more steep, and if we try third order also, it will again make it steeper. Let us just have a quick look at that also. Okay. This is our third order. So let me run the AC sweep and remove the phase part. Okay, so you can see the third order is even steeper. Okay, so this is why we use multiple order of circuits also. Okay, any doubts on this?
No, sir.
Are there any questions? Okay. So this is our third order low pass filter. I can just save this. Okay, this is a public and I can tag anything, but I won't add any tag. So it will save it in my circuits so that I can use it later on. Okay, and I can even export the graph image also. Download the image, which would be like this, what I was having. Okay, even the graph data, if you want to do some more analysis and you need Excel data of the graphs, then you can download the CSV file, and that file would look something like this one. Okay, so you have all the data here, and you can just plot it and then we do some analysis over it. And then you also have your schematic image, which would look like this. What is your circuit diagram, and then what graph you have received, and then the graph data. So all three components you can download and use for further analysis. Okay. So in the same manner, we can use a high pass circuit also. Okay. You just have to interchange the RC. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, so if there are no doubts, let me just go back, and now we will look at some of the transistor circuits like the most common and the most used is common emitter. Okay, so this is how the circuit will look like. So I will just quickly try to make this circuit. Okay. Okay, we first of all need a one NPN transistor, or I can take a certain part number also if you want. But I will take a generic one. Okay, so this we have done, and what all do we need? Two capacitor we need, then three resistance, so 4 resistance. And then for biasing voltage, I will use this supply here. And obviously a ground at the other end. Let me make this voltage as 15 volts. Okay, and our output measurement would be across this point. So another capacitor, resistance you will need.
Devendra sir, I request you to be a bit more louder.
Okay, is it fine now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll need this resistance for measuring our output, and then this probe here is the input probe, and then this here would be our output. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll quickly run an AC sweep, which will do the same thing which you were seeing up till now. Okay, let me just remove the phase part. Okay, so now you can see the green one is the input. Okay, and the blue one is the output. So you can see the blue never surpasses the output of this, the input value. So which means that it is not doing the amplification. Can anyone tell me why? Why we are not getting any amplification?
Biasing resistance it has to be changed.
Yes,
R1,
because
R4.
we have not given any particular values here. So we have just given some random figure here.
That's why R1 you make it around 10K and R3
This-
around 400 ohm.
One second, sir. Let me make the changes. R3 around 400. You're saying
R3 around 400
400K,
ohm.
400 ohms. Okay, so if I do that now and if I run the AC sweep again, you see now in this case my output surpasses. Okay, so anyway, that was just the calculation thing. So we did not put any particular what you can say resistance value. So we just use any random numbers and so the biasing voltage. So basically the no, not the biasing voltage, DC operating point change, I guess. Yes. So that way we could achieve this amplification. So the cutoff for this would be like what we are doing below this 1.99 hertz, it will not do this amplification work, and afterwards it will do the amplification. So in order to see that, so anyway we can see that here on the chart also, but I would want to see that in real time. Okay, so right now the frequency that we have given is 1 kilohertz. So let us just start with, let's say, 0 hertz. Okay, so which is a DC. So if I start increasing it, let me quickly make it 1. Frequency was 199. So let's say make it 50 initially. And okay, so if I start increasing this, you see at 100, it is a bit smaller, and then if I start further increasing it, once it is beyond 199, the value started increasing. Okay, and if I keep on going, it will keep on increasing. Okay, so you can see it is working as a high pass filter, also high pass amplifier. Okay, any questions on this? Are there any questions on this? Okay, so this is our common emitter circuit, which is, I guess, the most common transistor circuit we use in our labs or in most of the applications. Okay.
So once again show us the waveform at 200 hertz, sir.
200 hertz. 1 second, ma'am. See, ma'am.
What is the amplitude now, sir? Output amplitude.
Okay, so that we can measure using cursors. Let's say y-axis. So if I measure this point,
So the waveform is clipped, so it won't give a proper output, sir.
exactly, ma'am. So
it's not properly biased.
we have to make some changes.
Changes R1 and R4. There should be
One
some
second.
proportion. So
Yes, ma'am. Even R1 and R4, and I guess to obsolete this thing. 1 second. Maybe we can put in one capacitor here also, so that this DC level can be reduced. So here you can see we are getting some better results now. And then obviously R1 and R4 also we can try to do some changes here. You can see here. So I just did the hit and trial method. Okay, so now if I measure my output waveform, which is like here and here, just coming as 2.4 volts.
Excuse me, Devendra sir.
Yes, sir.
Your audio is very low. Can you like speak a little bit loud or keep your mic close to your?
Sure, sir. Is it fine now?
Now it's okay.
Okay. So this is what we
With time
can
it goes
see.
down. Actually, I think your mic is not placed properly.
Exactly, sir. So that anyway I'll keep in mind. So now my voice is also proper, and you can see that the clipped part and the DC offset which was in the output is removed. So DC offset we removed by putting this capacitor here, and then the clipping we reduced by changing the R4 value. And now you can see that at 200 Hertz we are getting a better amplified signal. Okay, so if I do
So the phase shift also,
sorry,
180
what's
degree
that?
phase shift we should have,
Yes, ma'am.
but we are not getting that much.
No, we are getting roughly 180, I guess. That also, let me just show you. Graph or data. So here you can see even actually the phase also. This dotted line is for phase. So at this point, 125, it has started increasing. So 125 now, earlier it was 199 because the component values were different. Now we did change some of the values. So that is why it has come to 125 Hertz now. Okay, and the phase is also changing, as you can see. For different frequency input, we have different phase variant in our output signal. Okay, so as for this, we can measure that also.
Sir, higher cutoff frequency is not visible.
Higher cutoff?
Higher cutoff frequency.
No, there we don't see any higher here. So even if I go and do an interactive session here, if I run it, and if I keep on increasing this value, so at after one point it will stop increasing, and then it will remain constant afterwards. Yes.
I'm asking in the graph, sir. Frequency response curve.
Yes, sir. There we don't see the cutoff, high cutoff, because I guess as for the circuit there's no cutoff.
Maybe
Because
if you
anyway,
increase
we did it
your
in
X
10 G,
sir,
yeah.
beyond 10 gigahertz,
Let's
you
say
may
we
be
do
able
it
to.
for 100 and we run it again maybe. Okay, still not. Okay, I guess it is remaining constant afterwards.
It has not changed, sir.
Yeah. So this is a sort
But
of
in the
high pass
display,
amplifier.
it is in the display. It has mentioned only 10 gigahertz, but you have changed to 100 gigahertz, no sir?
No, here it is
X-axis. You changed, 100 gigahertz. Maybe what is the maximum limit for the
100
frequency?
gigahertz
Which
here.
can be altered?
Okay,
Still, it is
maybe
coming
there is
back to
some
10
limitation
gigahertz.
here. Okay, maybe there's a limitation on that also, I guess. Do need to check, I guess, that. I do need to check this one. If the limit is only 10G or what. Because it is showing 10G only. Okay. So anyway, we cannot test beyond that. So that might be a limitation to this that I will check and we get back. Okay. So any further question on this common emitter? Any
Sir,
further
there's
question?
something on auto fit, auto magnitude fit and auto time fit available.
This?
Auto, uh,
No,
what's
that is for your y-axis. Like we have auto fit for the voltage. Now, if I decrease your volt per division, so the signal will be very small. So I can just fit it all.
Similarly, do we have the frequency auto fit?
We have if no frequency we have the range. Now we can control the range that we want. I want till 1 gigahertz, so I can select that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so if there are no further questions on this, I will move forward to the other circuit. Just give me a second. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so the next circuit that we will do, the common base amplifier. Okay, so the common base amplifier looks something like this. Okay, so let me just quickly make this circuit. Okay, so let me just connect these.
Sir, Devendra sir, you're not audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
No,
so
I was
you're
not saying anything in between.
okay.
I was
Sorry.
just making the circuit. So now the circuit is designed. Let me just cross check if the circuit looks fine. Okay, so I've given the wrong input. Okay, 1 second. This will not be here. Input would be here. And then this is also going to the ground like this, and our probe one will come here now. Okay, so let me just cross check once more. Okay, looks fine. Okay, so if I do an AC sweep now on this, you see afterward 316, it will do the amplification. Okay, so if I go under interactive and run it, so you can see we are already giving 1K. So if we start with, let's say 1 Hertz, so you can see the output waveform is almost 0, which is supposed to happen because after 316 only it will start. It will start basically. 1 second, cursor, let me remove. Okay, so if I start increasing the input now. Okay, so sorry, I did. So let's see if I start increasing. So you see now the signal has started increasing. Okay, so if we keep on moving, now we are roughly at 316 is what we were expecting. So 316. You see the signal is almost equal to the input, and if we cross this point now, so it will start increasing. So the amplification will start happening. Okay, so you can see this now. Okay, so this one is also working pretty fine. Any questions on this? Are there any questions?
Sir, which is this circuit? I skipped a little bit part.
So this one is
What
a
circuit
common
is it?
base circuit.
Common base. Okay.
The circuit diagram is this one. You can see. Okay, you can take a snap if you want for the circuits. Okay, and this was your common emitter circuit that we used. The common base. Then we have in our pipeline common collector also.
How the time division changes, sir?
Time division I can change, ma'am. Like in a normal oscilloscope, we have time per division here. We can change. Okay. So this is like a normal oscilloscope.
Yes.
Sir, can we do load line characteristics or load line?
Load
DC
line,
load
ma'am. What?
line or AC load line in this
DC.
basic transistor configuration?
DC up. I need to check, ma'am. DC up. There are only 4 type of simulation here. One is interactive, one is AC. DC op is this one. I have not used this one much. Then the transient is there. That also I do need to check what exactly it is. So I'm not sure about what you're asking, if it can be done or not. So that we need to check. But currently, yes, the basic thing we can do, we can give some sort of input. We can read the output, and then an AC sweep also we can do, which will make our work a bit easier. Then obviously there are multiple different sort of analysis that we do on these circuits when we are teaching them. So I guess that could be done based on the data that we receive from this. So we can always download the graphs, the AC sweep graph, and then the signal strength graph. So from there we can do the analysis manually on some Excel sheet or something. Okay, because it's a free version, there would be multiple restrictions. So we are just trying to overcome that restriction by using some other tools like Excel and some manual work. Is it okay, ma'am?
Okay, sir.
Any further questions on this? Are there any further questions? Okay, if no, I'll move forward with the next circuit, which would be our common collector.
Sir, I think if, excuse me, sir.
Tell me, sir.
I think if, as we did AC sweep, if we can do DC sweep, then the load line characteristics can be possible.
Sir, in this free version, we don't have DC sweep here. So that is what I was saying, that the free version will have a bit of restriction with us. So in those sort of scenario, what we can do, we can normally use this interactive way and record the waveforms. And then we can do this analysis manually on using Excel or something like that.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Sir,
In the paid version,
can
I
you
guess there are
remove the
2 more
input?
type of simulations. So
Sir?
DC sweep might be there. Yes, ma'am, you were saying.
Sir, can you remove that AC signal? And if you use that DC opt, if you run it, we'll see what is the output.
This DC op you're saying, ma'am?
Remove that AC signal
This one.
from the circuit. This
You're
is remove your
asking-
AC signal.
You're
AC
asking me to
signal,
remove this.
Yeah,
Okay.
remove that capacitor also,
This
because
one.
it will be open
Okay.
then. Now you run the circuit in the DC opt. Okay.
So it is showing. Where do you want to do some sort of measurement in the circuit now, ma'am?
Where is the input, sir, here? Input.
Input is not here.
No
We just
input,
have
ma'am.
this.
Only DC is the input. DC source is the input. So we can remove the first probe. We'll see what is the output from our.
So this is coming as 0 volt. Now here you can see.
Can you draw voltage, current characteristics?
Now that you have to do manually. We have to put maybe current probe. Current at which section, ma'am?
So can we do voltage versus load characteristics?
So that is what I'm saying, that this particular system has a bit of restrictions in type of analysis that you can do. So what you have to do, you have to manually record the data, and then you have to do it on Excel or a graph.
Sir, can we give it a try just now?
Sorry?
Measuring the DC collector current and
So-
the collector per meter voltage.
So current we can measure anywhere. So you can see we can put
and
a current probe.
voltage across collector and emitter.
Yes, that all we can do. If you want to do, let's say across collector and emitter, you're saying, no, sir?
Yes, yes.
This is collector. Let me just use a reference voltage here and tell it to use that reference one. Okay, so if I run it now, so this 1.774 volt and 6.57 milliamps current.
Graph
So
or
if
not, sir? Graph?
Sir, check the graph, sir.
Graph will have these data only.
I think we have to run it first, run the simulation.
Simulation is already run.
It shows single value.
Yes.
under DC off. So there is no sweep available.
No sweep available.
No
You have
range,
to manually do that.
there is no range to be
So now
selected.
can we insert that AC signal and do the same DC? Maybe this voltage values, no? 1.77 and 6.5
Okay, one
may
second.
change.
Let me put the circuit here.
Maybe that may give some analysis,
Let me just
finding
put it
out
now.
the AC, the 2 point which we are speaking in our theory.
Okay, so if I run it now, there's no change. There's no change now. You can see.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So that has to be done manually in that case now. Manually,
Okay,
you have
sir.
to record the data and then do it on a graph.
So the C1 capacity is must to the base.
Yes, sir. Connected to the base till the ground.
Okay.
So the circuit that I used is this one. This is a common base circuit.
Yeah.
So we can try different configuration. I know that even in common emitter also there are multiple different configurations. Like some people put 1 second this capacitor, or some might not use this capacitor. We also added one capacitor here also. So there are multiple configurations that one can use.
Yes.
Depending upon the application. So that is up to the user.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess if there are no questions, we can. The time is also already up, so maybe we can discuss further on the questions instead of starting anything new. Dr. Dhaliwal, are there any questions? Or maybe we can stop. We are already out, almost out of time.
Just dear participants, if you have any question or any clarification, you can unmute yourself and you can discuss even for yesterday's session also. So if there is
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Suppose as you have drawn a schematic and we are looking at the grapher's image, at the same time, can I change to one of my previous circuits? Multiple tab is available?
Yeah.
How, sir?
Let me just show you. So you see one circuit is already running here. Okay.
Okay.
So what I will do, I will go under my circuits here. Okay. And you'll see we use this third order circuit, third order low pass filter. We just made it a few minutes ago. Okay. So I am opening the circuit.
Okay. At the same time, we can open more than one tab on the same login.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so we can simulate this
very
also and this, because you see generally what issue do we get in running multiple simulation is the restriction of our system. Let's say if I'm using a laptop and I'm running two different simulation on this laptop. So depending upon my laptop's configuration, it might be able to handle 1, 2, or 3 simulation at a time, because that depends upon how much CPU can handle. But in this case, what is happening? We are running on the cloud. Okay, and the cloud is based on HPCs, which are very high processing systems. So HPCs are way too powerful to run multiple simulations. We are just running very small thing. So user across the world will be running such circuits, and it will be able to handle all of them.
Okay. You have opened the new tab using these squares. The
Yes, sir.
icon for these
So
9
what I
squares.
did, I just right clicked on this Multisim Live, opened it. So
Okay.
it opened my profile because I'm already logged in. So I can
Okay,
just
okay.
go under
Got it.
my circuits here, and then I can just
Okay.
open
Got
any
it,
of the
sir.
circuit. I have common collector also already made, so maybe we can see that. Okay, so this is a common collector circuit. Okay, so if I run it, okay, so you can see if I increase the frequency, the input is, oh, sorry, this is voltage. So maybe we can run the AC sweep here. So see, they will basically, it will not amplify. So maybe some values we do have to change. Like if I make it, let's say 100, and reduce it to 400 here. Okay, so it is again a 10 minute. So we do have to change these parameters to get the correct output.
R2 can be changed to 6K or maybe 12K, sir. 12K.
12K.
12K is the same.
Okay, so it has still not amplifying. So anyway, we have to do the calculations because these circuit has some calculation based on various formulas. So I'm just doing it and try right now. So that can be done, and
Sir, this is common collector configuration, no?
yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is common collector configuration. Whatever you're showing.
This one.
So it won't get amplified.
Okay,
It
okay,
won't.
okay. So okay, so it won't get amplified.
It's
So this
called
is
as voltage.
yes.
Whatever we are getting is right. It's a voltage follower which follows the input. So input and output.
Output
It's more or less
they
same.
will
No?
they will match here. You can see.
It's right.
After this 398 hertz frequency, it will be same. Okay, so this is common collector. Then similarly, you can make various other circuits like class A amplifier, class B is there, AB is there, class C is there. Okay, so all sort of devices you can make. Like generally, if it is using a speaker here, you also have a speaker here also. Where is it? A buzzer. So you can use a buzzer as a speaker, so it will actually act. So let me just connect it here to 15 volt because it will start beeping. Let me just. Can you see the buzzer volume?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you want to add something similar, you can also use these devices. Okay. So if there are no further questions, maybe we can stop.
Already there is one question in chat.
1 second, so let me have a look.
Sir, at probe 1 and probe 2, why it is coming out of date like that?
Sorry, I didn't get no.
At probe 1 and probe 2, why it is coming out of date like that?
Okay, so that is coming.
See the
because,
circuit once.
1 second.
Schematic.
Yeah. So this is happening because we have made some changes in circuit. Initially, if you remember, there was a buzzer connected, and then we ran the circuit, and then we deleted that buzzer. So we changed something in the circuit. So what out of date means that there has been some change in the circuit after it was run last time, and the result it is showing is not correct because it was for that circuit. Now you have made some changes, and hence the data will be different. So to get the new data, you have to run it once. So if, just to show you, if I run it again, you see we are getting some data. If I stop, right now it is not showing any out of date or something like that. So what I will do, I will change something, only the resistance value, and you see it has shown out of date. So it is means that something
Okay.
is okay. And then you basically need to run it again to get the new data. Okay, now Pooja ma'am is asking, I'm not getting perfect graph in common emitter. Ma'am, you just have to give it proper biasing, like we did in like we gave some resistance value to it. That way you have to give it.
Right, sir. Right.
So I guess that is it. So if there are any, if there are no further questions.
Yeah, I think we can stop now for the day. For
Sure,
this
sir.
session. So dear participants, you can practice at your end, and tomorrow we have again chance to interact with Mr. Devendra as he's taking another session on op-amp, and we can devote some time for the clarification of your doubts or any difficulty you encounter in developing the circuits using transistors or diodes. So tomorrow also we can have interaction. So I request all the participants to do maximum practice so that you can discuss your doubts or you can get clarifications tomorrow also. So we can utilize that lecture for today's clarifications also. So thank you, Devendra sir, for your time, for delivering this very interesting session. I'm sure that participants are finding it useful as they are interacting with you, so they are doing the practice. So they will be able to use your lecture for the benefit of students. So thank you very much.
Sir.
So we'll meet again at 9:30 for op-amp session.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. So dear participants, our second session will start at 11:30, and that session will be again taken by Mr. Ajay Godara. So today he will be going to discuss very interesting topic of IoT implementation using Node-RED. So let us take a break for 25 minutes. So kindly again be active at 11:30. So we'll be starting at 11:30 sharp. So thank you one and all for your cooperation during the sessions.